Hey everyone, Brad Porter here with your weekly Sunday update. Hey, you're getting a little peek at the kind of working space. I was in a AI startup recently, looking around and realizing all the desks were super clean. Right? They basically had a laptop, maybe a monitor, maybe a cord, super clean. I'm like, this is amazing. How do we like? I like decluttered spaces. And then I came back and I'm like, oh wait, we build robots, right? They're not and I think this is a bit of an analogy, right, for kind of what's different about robotics, right? That robotics are physical. And one of the things we had the whole team together this week for an on-site at Cobot. Amazing energy. You know, our team from Seattle and Pittsburgh and Boston. We have people kind of around the country all flew in. And really, one of the questions we were asking ourselves is, are we ready for 2026 and what's to come? You know, CES was taking place this week. A lot of statements at CES about, you know, physical AI is coming, robotics are here, robotics are working. Um, and I think the question is, are we as an industry and are our customers, our enterprises really ready for physical AI transformation? And, you know, the reality is no, right? The reality is most enterprises have not embarked on any kind of robotics transformation. Now, I obviously was part of Amazon's robotics transformation, helping go from 50,000 robots to over 500,000 robots, and Amazon's kept going, over 1 million robots at Amazon now. The To bring robotics into the world, right? You need to fuse AI, hardware, software, process change, organizational leadership. All of this needs to come together. Now, the big unlock has been and is still physical AI, right? Physical AI for dexterous manipulation. And Amazon's invested in this space for a long time. I bought Covariant last year, right? It recently elevated Peter Avil to a broader role within the company, right? A statement of like how important manipulation is, and how critical that piece is to the future science of AI and AGI and superintelligence. The physical AI piece is super important, and then the dexterous manipulation piece is super important. But there's so much that goes on around it, right? To build highly reliable hardware, right? It's one thing to build consumer grade hardware. It's another thing to build CES quality hardware, right? The To build industry grade hardware, right? You need reliability. You need accelerated life cycle testing. You need great contract manufacturing. You need DFM. You need all of this work, right? And that's just to build reliable hardware, and you need it to obviously hit a price point that works as well, right? We've talked about that in previous videos. But you also need the software ecosystem around it, right? We had hundreds of people at Amazon working on the software systems around robotics and fulfillment technology stacks. And so we talk to enterprises so often, like to get a new device onto a network is a 9-month InfoSec approval process, right? How are we going to adopt robotics quickly if it's 9 months before you can put a device to try on a Wi-Fi network? And so, I think the exciting piece is at Cobot, we have seen what's involved, what's required to bring robotics into process paths to lead that kind of change, right? And I think we're building a highly capable robot with Proxy, but Proxy becomes even more capable as this dexterous manipulation, physical AI comes along, right? But what I think we need to keep doing is building the capabilities and the infrastructure. We have a software technology stack that really brings all of this together, kind of an AI-powered orchestration workflow and engine, a control center. We call it Vista. We're bringing together kind of the operational awareness, our full self auto tasking, the fact that the robots can identify the work. But enterprises still need to get ready, right? And this physical AI transformation, some enterprises are going to be ahead, right? Mayo Clinic, who we're working with, is working very, very hard to be ahead because they can see how this is going to transform the nature of healthcare, hospital operations, right? We've been working with a number of customers who, are looking to leapfrog, right? They're looking to, hey, they know this technology is coming. How do we embrace it? How do we adopt it? How do we adopt it faster than everybody else? Because if we do, our business changes radically. You think of 3PLs, right? Maersk does 3PL logistics. 3PLs, the 3PL that can bring this technology in fastest and scale it and take advantage of it and not need all this fixed infrastructure, but have robots doing the work is going to have a lower cost structure, and it's going to be a more competitive 3PL, right? And so manufacturing as well. So we're really, really bullish about 2026. Really excited about kind of the progress we're seeing in the AI space, but we should realize there is a lot that goes on around the AI, right? There's a lot on the hardware side, there's a lot on the software side, there's a lot of the organizational leadership, a lot of the transformation, a lot of process engineering, all places where Cobott's built out its capabilities because we've been getting ready for this moment. And very excited. I think we're gonna see massive progress in the AI in the next 6, 12, 18 months. And that's going to lead to an acceleration of robotics, but really it's going to uniquely advantage those companies that are preparing now, right? Who are thinking about this now. And look, this is a little bit of an advertisement. I don't usually do this, but if you're one of those enterprises, right, and you need to get ready, right, then we want to help. Cobott wants to help. We're in a great position to do that. We've got the scaffolding, the infrastructure to support your enterprise through that transformation. So as I said, I don't usually do a pitch for Cobott. This is much more, for folks trying to learn about robotics, learn about leadership, how we think about it. But now's the time to get ready. Awesome. Thanks, everyone.